What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Now, we are all waiting on bated breath for the game to start. The final of the U.S. Tour, Real Madrid, Juventus, the big one. But before we do that, of course, we have to go give you your updates regarding everything in the Mercado. Only thing I gotta say is, here comes an old name that I'm gonna have to deal with again. I thought we put it to bed. He'll come back again. All right, we'll talk about it. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofer, and today it is Saturday, July 30th, 2022, and of course I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you care about each and every day. It is the rundown. Before we do anything though, do me a favor. Do me a solid, my guy or gal, or whatever, turtle. Whatever you are. Anyway, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. If you haven't already, though, make sure you're entered in to win the Pogba shirt that we are doing a giveaway here on the channel. I don't know why I opened the show like this. I just did. I don't know. It's one of those days. All right, we're giving a Pogba shirt away in just a matter of days. Literally, August 1st, 2022, we'll be doing a live stream to give away the Pogba shirt. Here's how you get entered to win. Like I said, last second, make sure you're doing it now. Subscribe to the channel. Go on the Twitter account. See the pinned tweet that's at the top of the Twitter, I guess, Twitter page, scroll, whatever you want to call it, timeline, if you will. And make sure you go on that tweet, retweet it, like it, and then also tag a friend in it. And you'll be entered to win the Pogba shirt. So make sure you're tuned in and you're there August 1st, 2022 for the live stream where we will be giving away that Pogba shirt so that you can claim it there. All right, let's get into it. Let's get through this news that we have today, and then we can get ready for this match that we're going to have later tonight. All right, first up, a new name enters the ring when it comes to Juventus and who they could get in the Mercado. And this one, I'm just going to go ahead and preface it that I don't think it's likely, but we'll see. Giovanni Albanese, and that's part of the reason. Reports that Dries Mertens is a profile that the Catenacci have evaluated on par with the other free agents that become desirable, also because of a salary that is absolutely within reach. The deal is still difficult, also because there are several clubs who would like to close quickly on the Belgian player, unlike Juventus, who would go on him later in case there is still an opportunity to be seized. And I think that kind of gives you the summation of where he sits with Juventus. I don't think Juventus are really going to go after the player. I don't think that this is a serious story, especially given, no offense, or I do mean offense, I'm sorry, Napoli's leftovers, especially if Napoli, one of the players that they view as highly as one of their better players to ever play at Napoli, we're willing to let him go and let him walk and leave the club. I don't think Juventus are going to go after this player. I just don't see it happening. And again, maybe, especially when he has other options out there in this Mercado, I think more likely he'll go somewhere else before Juve would even really seriously sit down and begin to look at him as an option. But that's something to keep in mind. We'll see what happens there. All right. Moving forward, though, we do need to talk about strikers that Juventus are going to pursue and what we look at there in the Mercado for Juventus. Well, Tuttosport basically has a list of like 75 guys at this point. The list of alternatives include Arnautovic, Martial, Muriel, and Belotti. And to these, in the last hours, have been added the names of Barcelona's Depay and, of course, Mertens. We just talked about Mertens. Don't need to do that again. Memphis Depay is another player. We'll see if he becomes a serious option and how highly they go after him. There's been a lot of reports out there, right? When it comes to Depay, when it comes to Werner, a lot of these players, there's, Firmino as well, where they put out these reports saying Juve have already put in these big money offers. And then, like come on. Like, nobody's buying it, my dude. Nobody's buying it. You know, I'm not going to say the guy's name. The same dude who said Icardi would already be here, right? Icardi, done deal since January. Yeah, I'm still waiting on that one, bro. Anyway, I don't see. Some of these I just don't see happening. Depay is an interesting one to follow. Like I said, I don't believe Mertens. Martial, I just feel like that's a name that just gets thrown out there every single time. I don't think that's going to happen. Muriel one it's resurged a little bit. And Belotti I could see because he's cheap or he's free. He's free. That's the reason. Not because he's cheap, because he's free. Arnautovic is another one that I think there's a little bit of more hoops they'd have to run through. And then, of course, there's one guy that, you know who I'm going to talk about. We'll talk about him in a second. I think it's still going to be Morata in the end. We'll see. Continuing on, though, let's talk about another one that Juventus currently has, and that is Moise Kean. Giovanni Albanese is reporting that Moise Kean turned up in fine form at the start of the training and does not occupy any slots on the list as club-trained player. For the 2,000-year-old striker, Moise Kean is 2,000 years old? Holy hell, he's in better shape than I thought. I think what they meant to say was born in 2000, and he's a 22-year-old striker. I imagine. I imagine if he is 2,000 years old, my guy, what is your skin routine? What are you doing, my dude? Anyway, I'm sorry. It is what it is. All right. The striker would still be some opportunities in the Premier League, but now the player appears closer to staying at Juventus. For Juve, however, he is not non-transferable, but a 30 to 35 million offer would be needed to sell. So we'll see. I mean, I understand the selling that they're trying to do. Scored a couple goals in the preseason. Maybe he's looking a little bit more appealing to some of these other clubs out there. We'll see. PSG, you're going to come back to the table. Some of these Premier League clubs, will you? We'll see. But I think more and more likely Moise Kean will probably just end up staying with the club. All right. Talking about the striker that I mentioned earlier, obviously, Alvaro Morata is a guy I'm still holding out. I still kind of believe. I'm not holding out hope. It's not that I'm hoping for him, but I still kind of tend to believe that this is where it's going to end up. Giovanni Albanese is reporting Juventus are trying for Morata, but the deal remains uphill. Atletico Madrid, at least for now, do not open to another loan for the Spanish striker. However, the Bianconeri will try as long as they have some hope of bringing the player to Turin. So that's as it stands right now. Not a lot to go off of, but basically, I mean, I just think it's such a mess when it comes to the other strikers of actually getting them done. Unless we start to hear things really heat up and they really start pushing for a player, then I'll believe it. But until then, I'm still going to believe Morata till the end. Because remember when we got Morata the first time? It was Suarez, it was Dzeko, it was all these other players. And then at the end, it was like a guy, I can't remember who it was his agent, whoever it was basically saying, I think it'll probably be Morata, one who he didn't talk about at all in that Mercado until that final week where he did end up joining the club. So we'll see what happens. They like to keep things a little hush-hush over there. All right, moving on, Corriere dello Sport's reporting, talking about Juventus being offered players to the club. Intermediaries have knocked on Juve's door proposing Pjanic, Gundogan, Saul. Yeah, lackluster names. But Cherubini is currently looking elsewhere. Barca, there is De Jong, of course, who would be a fantastic get, but we'll see whose position is in the balance. And then a look at Napoli, where Fabian Ruiz hypothesis is always intriguing. Again, I still think the Ruiz hypothesis will not come to fruition. I don't know why I'm saying it that way. Probably until next year when he could leave on a free. We move forward and we talk about Julian's favorite guy, and that's Sky Sports, who's reporting basically no new news, just the same crap we've been hearing for almost a month now. Paredes would be Allegri's favorite option to reinforce his midfield. The coach appreciates him for his qualities as a regista, which are different from those of the players already in the squad. So no new news, just they had to put that out there. Just had to copy, paste. There you go. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. He likes him. That's what we know. Players that we don't like. Let's talk about Artur. Sky Sport Italia reporting saying that Juventus are unwilling at the moment to accept a dry loan move for Artur while paying part of his wages. As in, if you want him on a dry loan without option to buy or without having to buy him, you need to pay all his wages. You need to pony up the cash. Valencia, whoever else it is that's out there that want him. If Arsenal come back to the table, seems like they're moving on. Whoever it is that may end up coming for Artur, if you want him on a dry loan, you got to pay for his wages this year. We need to get those off of the books. I still think Juve, if they can maybe do with an obligation to buy or an option to buy or whatever there's going to happen, they're going to probably have to pay. Juve are going to have to pony up. They're going to have to continue to pay a little bit more. Next up, let's talk about Paul Pogba. His situation, Tutto Sports got an update saying that after days of reflection, Paul Pogba is now ready to listen to the advice of a new specialist for his meniscus injury. On Monday, he will be in Lyon to meet with Cotet Sonori, the guru who operated on Ibrahimovic last May. So, again, I don't comment on this kind of stuff. I don't like to comment on injuries because, it's not fun. Rumors about players coming in and out, that's fun. Injuries are not fun. I know people like to have fun making fun of certain player that I like, about injuries, but I do not think injuries are fun to make fun of. I just think at this point, or to even really overly speculate, it just seems unprofessional. We'll see what happens here. Hopefully we'll have a better idea and a better update regarding his future with the club. What I mean that is immediate future. How long until he can come back into play with the club. So we'll see. All right, and then the last bit of news. Here's the guy that I was returning that I teased in the intro. Basically, Romeo Gresti comes back with a name from the not-so-distant past, but we thought was done. Pay attention to Kostic. With the Pogba injury, Juve may want to take advantage of the 4-4-2 hybrid game plan. Dear God, no. No! I had the drop, but I'm not going to hit the drop. I'm not going to do the office. No! No! No. No. Kostic fits that profile very well. The negotiations between West Ham and Eintracht Frankfurt are on standby for now. So, Joyce, all the people who are loving on Kostic, there you go. There's your opportunity. He's coming back in the picture. There you go. I don't know. I mean, I think he's a fine player. I think he's all right. But I think, if we're being honest, I think it was just time to move on and go after bigger options. But it's a possibility. There you go. All right, that'll do it for this edition of the news. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you haven't already, like I said, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. If you haven't already, make sure you follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. And you can follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter as well. I'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.